everybody, today I wanted to paint. Yes, I wanted to finally use my mixed media wonderful tools and toys and accessories to paint. Oh, this one's a bit oily. I don't know what I was doing on that. I think I was mixing paint, but it will be fine just to keep that on here. So this is the paper I'm going to use today. It is very white, hasn't got any kind of warm tinge. I rip it out and I will attach to this piece of plastic. And why am I using this plastic? It's because it's a cheap picnic table and it has a little bowing and texture, so I don't want to do that. And I'm using this small kind of plastic because if I need to move it at any point, it's nice and easy, rather than having a massive one and then I've been there, I got stuck. So there we go. Masking tape, we're going to put that on. It's just a regular tape you can get in DIY shop. Sometimes I put against my trousers just to make it less sticky. So today is bank holiday in UK, and that means we have Monday off. Tomorrow I'm meeting up with the ladies from the immersion course I met in my study group, and we're so super excited to finally meet in person. It's amazing. Luckily we all live relatively close to London. I'm only an hour and a half, so that will be fun. Okie dokie, let me just prepare myself here. So I always keep spare page, kind of empty one around here. We could go later. Paper, yes, we don't need no inky stuff at the moment. What else do we need? Watercolours. I'm going to do Schmincke today because I used the Winsor & Newton for a while and it's time to come back to this one. It's a lovely earthy tones. You can see in the swatches here, has a really nice tones to play with. So I'm just going to pop it on the side here. My table is currently covered in stuff. I'm just going to relax. So let me show you the image to paint, and I'm not entirely sure where that was. But this is the image. Hope you can see because the ring light is illuminating the iPad. But that's about it. So it's there's a C. I think it might be Emsworth again. And I really like that movement of the grass here, so I'm gonna try to capture that. So we're gonna start very much with kind of gestury movement, and for that I'm going to use watercolor pencil. This is my Castle pencils. I have a few different colour pencils, and we're going to choose something non-offensive. I quite like working in this light blue. There we go, like a blueprint. And it's just easier because it's going to melt once we start putting layers in water. It will not be causing any problems like pencil would. So let's just see, we got a horizon. I have to establish how far. I don't want too much sky because I want to focus really on that beautiful grass. So it's going to be just a slither of kind of sea stuff. artistic license and all that. It doesn't have to be exactly like the picture, and I like about this, you can just convey the feeling of it. Very loose. I'm just holding my pencil at the end here, without too much stress, just mapping gently where it's going to be. It's very, very simple. It's just to play with those new supplies. One of my new supplies sorry, I keep moving away from you guys, you probably can't hear me very well. I had to dig out my ink, Winsor Newton ink. Yesterday I had a play actually with the one I had before, the black one, and you know what, with those dip nibs, and it doesn't give you a very strong line, but I did try the carbon ink and it's a different story, so I'll be making a video on that soon. I wanted to experiment a little bit more so you can actually see a little bit more valuable video than me opening stuff and just looking at them. So I need to try it out first. I'm taking relatively small brush here, and let's mix it up. You can't see my palette here. I don't think you need to really. Do you need to see my palette? Let me just move a little bit. Okay, there we go. So I put a generous amount of that ink here. I'm going to wet the sky with this ink, just like that. Nothing too literal. And it's very light at the bottom here, so we try to keep it lighter here, and as it goes up a little more. But I'm not too bothered about this being super lovely, kind of gradient, very smooth. I want a little bit of a messiness in here and freedom. I'm gonna add this emerald. Is it emerald? Emerald, that was right. Ooh. Emerald blue to it because I want a bit more turquoise sky. I do like mixing green and blue just for interest. There we go. So that's our sky done. Very easy. Hopefully it'll dry nicely in a minute. And olive green, just kind of putting here and there. Again, very messy way. Hope you can see okay. A little darker spot here, and I'm using slightly different color shades of greens because on the picture we do see different shades of greens. It still works together. Just mapping it out, just like that, and a lot of kind of yellow. I'm gonna have to dull it down a little bit. I don't want it too bright. So yellow ochre, and a teeny bit of blue. Just not to make it too kind of bright, super strong colours. I like it dull down a bit. Okay, that's great. We have that slither of water here as well. Brown. It will be all covered anyway with the other mediums. Okay. Gum bulge as well. I really don't like gum bulge. I could really get rid of it from my palette, and I'm quite tempted to do that. Or I, however, love yellow ochre which gives you that lovely yellow, a bit like maple yellow. Okay, we need to dull it down because it is in the distance, so I'm adding that bit of a blue to it. Very vague, very kind of blurred out. And a hint here and there, a bit of here. And now we're going to have to drop that blue as well for the water, and it's a little bit more Delft blue. What is that colour? I never heard of it, but I have it in my palette. Oh, it's beautiful, very, very strong. I'm going to mix it with white. Love it. That's going to be, and I'm leaving a little bit of white and here and there. And where the sky meets the sea, I'm going to blur that up a bit. Lovely. So now we have to wait for this to dry. Well, we don't have to, but I like to. So it gives me a little bit of freedom to work with the paint, work with markers. I don't like them to get too wet. Can I close that ink? Okay, let's give it a little break. I also wanted to show you who's with me in the studio today. My little fur baby Daisy is sleeping. I hope she's not going to wake up right now. She desperately wanted to come here, even though it's a little bit chillier here than the rest of the house. And she's having a little snooze. It must be my voice putting her to sleep. This is my desk. I'm here in the corner of the studio. You can see here lots of stuff. My lights. This is where I normally do my photo shoots. And today we are having here a little corner set up. And nice to see you guys. I hope you're enjoying this one. Okay, our drawing is slightly drier now, so that's good. I have picked up 2 different pencils from my the Castle Arts company, and they do lovely watercolor pencils. I really am impressed with the quality. It's not exactly the same as Faber-Castell Tennis, maybe the pencils itself, but when you use them, the colors and everything, pigmentation is fantastic, and is way cheaper as well. So these are the colors I have pulled out for all the greenery. There isn't much of the kind of apple green, which is lots of here, but I might do a glaze later with my ink. We'll see how that goes. So let me just pick up, I don't know if I want to talk over or if I want to just get on with it. I'll just get on with it, I think. are the Pro Markers from Winsor Newton, recent addition to my collection. I haven't got many poscas and those, but it's great to have those. Now let's add a little bit of darker sort of those pencils. I think the paper is still a tiny bit wet, so it doesn't take it too well. It needs to be bone dry. So it's just building up the layers and layers and layers. Those lighter ones, different shades. What? It's supposed to be light. Soft touch. Let's have a look. Very dark. What is that? So this is the dark, and it's just a bit more pigmented than that one. That's a bit misleading, I'd say. Oh, maybe I should do a swatching of all the pencils. Whoa. That might take a while to do. There's such a dark stain here. I'm going to do a little bit more strong. I don't think there's any need to be afraid using kind of purple, violet as the shadows. It's not as dark as black. Texture. If you want to be really careful with how you use those, you might want to copy the picture a bit more, the photograph. But I prefer doing that way. Let's grab all the Inkten sticks and put a little bit more chalkiness around here. I like how that looks, and a little bit of that ochre. These are good colours to have. And that immediately add a bit of an interest. I love mixing those together. Oh, I just broke it! Did you see that? But that's fine. They're a bit like pastels. You can break them and then work more with the edge of the stick. It's fine, I think. Okay, let's put them away, and then my lovely Neocolor aquarelle. Even at this point, I could grab a brush and water and just mix it up. Those pencils will go over that, yeah. You can really mix everything up quite well. Something lighter. How am I going to do that if I haven't got a light green, really? Let's see with that polychromos. Okay, they do. However, I think I'm going to have to get some gouache in. I have this gouache white. What we could do, we could put that and then colour it with a bit of a... Oh gosh, if I can open this jar. Yes, I did it. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to grab that with a super rigger pen brush. out, and we're going to mix it with a little bit of watercolour. I'm going to add water. Great. And then watercolour. I have to use a different brush to... Oh, look at that left over here. It's lovely. Not sure how it's going to behave. Probably not thick enough. Green. So let's leave that white one till the end, I suppose. And that's very, very thick. So I need to really create much thinner lines. There we go. That's lovely. Yeah, gouache would be ideal here. Do I want to go and grab my gouaches? I might do. Okay, let's work on those dark areas first. I still have a little bit to cover. More of a direction of it. They kind of go in like that. I think we need darker paint there. A little bit of brown. Okay, I'm going to get paint grey. With a little bit of white gouache. And create those darker areas here. Slightly lighter, slightly greener. So you can create the whole palette out of one sort of main mix, and it will look very cohesive. I'm just scraping anything I find on the palette now. Adding blue. It's very green here. I think this is the time when I'm going to add my green ink. Where is it? This green ink is very kind of apple green, which will liven up this picture a little bit. Let me the other way around. There we go. Okay, and let's get that green ink here. Oh, that's fabulous. Mix with a little bit of white, a bit of water. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to dig out my gouaches out because it's not giving me kind of separation I was hoping for. I quite like how the water looks like and those plants in the background. I'm not sure about the front. Let's zhuzh it up, but now everything's covered quite well. Close that one. This is actually the Talon's designer gouache. It's great. Oh, I forgot I got these as well. Neocolor 2 but brighter, and we have this very bright kind of apple green. It has to dry a bit more. It doesn't want to take it in now. Yeah, we'll really have to use gouache, I think, over this. Ooh, let's see that emerald Inkton stick. That's a good one. Look at that. It just brings everything super much to life. Wish I had more of these. Very nice. And this olive kind of green. We use that one already here. They're lovely. I definitely need to bring those very light bits. That would be great. That will make a big difference. Especially that we lie down so many of the darker bits. It will bring that contrast really lovely. Okay. Oh my goodness, she's snoring. My little baby dog. She's not a baby really, she is going to be 14 this year. So she went. Just up a little bit of the background there. Cool. What if I use that white? That's going to do anything to the sky. It does a little bit. Just the right amount. Okay, I think it's time for me to grab those gouaches and just add those light bits over here. So let's put these away. I think I'm missing a little bit of brown touches here and there. It's all coming up together. Let me grab gouaches quickly. Okay, I got off my chair and gone and got my gouache paints. I have chosen the Daler Rowney designer gouache, and I love that brand. It is really nice, the battery feel of it. And so what we're going to mix, I want to kind of pre-mix some bits and bobs and then just use it on here. Oh my goodness, there's just so much stuff. So much stuff here. I might turn my palette around with a nice clean bit. And we can start painting. So we have here Viridian green. Have we got any other greens? I don't think so. Blue, of course, and we have a little bit of a yellow ochre, and I could mix that to warm up a little bit that paint. Blue. Okay, let's see what happens there. Not sure if you can see. Let me just change so you can see both painting and mixing. Bonus round. If I want any more of these, or I'm not sure how is that going to be. How is that gouache going to go on top? But it should, in theory, go nice and smoothly, without problem. So Viridian. Oh my goodness, crumbling up right here. And we need that yellow ochre in here. Just a little bit. It's not going to be much needed, to be honest, because it's a very small painting. It's only A5 size, and I do like working in that size because it's not a huge commitment. You can just practice, and they look quite adorable that size. I don't know, maybe one day I will brave out. And we still have our white to add. I don't know why is that a little left in here. I don't really use much of it. Has it evaporated? I don't know. So I'm starting with white. Gonna add a tiny bit of green. Oh, it's lovely. And a tiny bit of that ochre. Just to warm up. And water. Oh, that's a lovely. It's a bit like a sage colour. More white. Hope you can see that okay. More green. More ochre. Ochre very thick, very sticky. Ooh, that's a beautiful colour. And what different thing you can do, you can put a little bit here, and then you mix and you put a little bit here, and that way you create quite a variety Now I'm absolutely in love with this shade. Once I added a bit of green, blue, I need a super thin brush. This is gonna be fine. It's a Skipton Art Shop 0, and this is 1. I think we're gonna do with that 0. Let's see how that goes. It's just a brush for mixing. Things are rolling around. Need to coat it up quite well, and then doesn't want to work. A bit more water so it glides. It's to be lovely consistency, kind of yogurt like, but not too much, not too watery. It's a real art to find the right shade of, consistency. No, that's beautiful. So thin. And now the direction it flows. A bit more expressive. I would love to do those very, very light green. How to do that? So we need to got that green here. We need to make that all very, very, very light and a little warmer. I think I need more yellow here because it doesn't go anymore. Spectrum yellow. That's quite a warmth to it. Let's see, another mix. Okay, that's better. It's like a lime green. Don't know if you can see that. Water to it. That's a lovely shade. And more white. Definitely need more white to that. Clean brush. Should really use the palette knife here, but never mind. No one's gonna tell me off. So adding lots of white to it. Mix, mix, mix. Look at that, they kind of go really dark once they dry, so it's to be lighter than you think. Oh, I love that. Expressiveness, kind of flow. I struggle sometimes with the thickness of the brush because you can't go any thinner, I suppose. So have to be like a hairline. So you need to plan it out a bit how it's going to be working. I love mixing blue and green and then adding that on. Just working with that Viridian green adding a little bit of water, making it a bit more manageable. But there's a million ways to do it, and I'm still learning, so please don't feel like this is some sort of instruction. I'm just trying to say what I'm doing here, and I'm sure I'll be looking back in the future at this video and saying, oh, what the heck are you doing here? But you know, if you don't work, you don't get any results. You just need to try things out. That's the secret, really. Okay, let's try that brush again. And add this lighter ones. Thing is, this should really dry a little bit more, otherwise they might mix up. Give it a little bit of flow. So where you see the most contrast, that's where your eye going to go. So at the beginning stages, don't be afraid to put even more of those dark bits, and I think that's a lesson for me for today. Not being afraid to really put those darker bits, make it more working for me in later stages. A bit more. Today's episode is sponsored by the word more. So as always, I'm super interested where you guys from. Please let me know. I'm always so curious where around the world. I do love traveling. I haven't traveled as much as I would like, so I can travel with my imaginary way on Google. So I do like checking out the places where they are, where people are from. Now we're going to add this viridian into yellow and make it very, very warm. So there's a trick for perspective where you're making things appear closer, and this is when you use warmer colours. So I mixed up this viridian and yellow and maybe a bit of white to make it warmer. And because we use that viridian with blue in the back, it's a bit more like in the background. Oh, goodness me, I'm going out of hand. Okay, I'm a little bit fed up with this little long brush. I'm going to change it to super thick, super thin, super tiny. See how that goes. Because that rigger gives me the same brush marks. Oh, that's lovely. So I'm just going to add a bit more white to that nice warm green. Again, this coloring brush. You don't need loads and loads. Always remember, children, clean your materials, clean your brushes, clean everything nicely, so you can use it for a long time. Could be useful for you for a long time. Okay, and that gives a bit of a pop, that white with a teeny bit of that warm green. I do like that brush, better than a rigger. Didn't thought I would say that. I'm making more into shapes, so they're a bit closer like that. It's not just sticks, is it? They have some sort of shape. Gouache is wonderful. You can put it underneath, you can put it on top, so opaque. Now these is like a school of fish. It looks like. Okay, well, I'm kind of together, but I don't want to make it too uniform so it doesn't look too fakey. I think I've made it a bit too nicey nice. I should really go a little bit more loose. Right, that's okay. That's okay. What if I take my polychromos black one and just go here and there in between those? That's what I really like. That's nice. It gives a little bit of depth because in between that grass there is lots of darkness, especially here. That's good to know. You can always add that dark bit. Cool. I'm happy with that. Can we add a little bit of those again? Our beautiful new colour thing. Yes, we can. The only problem with mixed media is that you have so much choice, so many different materials. You just jump from one to another when you just do an ink, let's say, and watercolor, or even ink, watercolor and pencils. It's quite easy to move from one to another, but with these ones, oh, that yellow look is such a nice little pop. I'm trying not to make it too unified. Okay, is white changing anything? Yeah, that's nice. Even white has some sort of opacity. Yeah, I think it's coming along. Now, the bestest feeling ever. We're going to add a little white dots here and there, and also the apricot. Is it? Yeah. Fabulous. Let's just add a few more lines. See if that needs to be anywhere. Now I wish I had more posca pens. I need to invest in some of the lime green, maybe. So I have this white posca, and maybe it will blend a little bit with the what we have so far. But ideally, that would be nice to have like a little lime green color. And just doing, they are so feathery, it's so gorgeous. Not sure if I can get that effect. Oh, it's getting stuck a bit on this. Need to press down. It's getting stuck on that gouache, letting it dry completely. Little flowers there, here. Little circles or dots. yeah, it gets a little bit stuck. So I need to go over the paper and kind of clean it off and press it out, get a fresh paint out. It's annoying. I wonder if I could do that with those little nips. Oh, nip things. With gouache. Should we experiment? Hope I'm not going to break it. So let's get out our gouache paint here. Okay. Now, loading one of the nips. That would be interesting if that worked. That would be amazing. Just gonna dip. I don't know. There's a little bit of mark, but not how I want it to. I have to dip all the time. It takes a dip per mark. If I add water to it? Hardly. No, that's a no. With a nip pens. I tried. I love adding that salmony colour there. And this beautiful peachy one. Spelling variety. Okay, let's try a little bit more of that posca, but maybe the oh, look at that big one, orange. Let's see what that gives. That would be amazing, have more colours. I just need to invest. Some green ones. So beautiful, those thin ones. It's stuck again. Let's try with the apricot one a little bit more. Gives a little bit of movement. Yeah, I think I'll be I'll be getting some more posca pens. Beautiful. I could probably go with acrylic paint on over that. Now thinking. That would be so much mixed media. Right, I think we're done here for this experiment. I really enjoy that. Hope you will have as well. Oh. Okay, that's the moment. Imagine if you were doing that for a client or whatever, and after all work that wouldn't peel off not the right way. I think you can get different types that peels off nicely. Yay! Let's get rid of that monkey board. And this is our beautiful painting done. Like I said, it's not perfect. I could probably do it differently next time, but it's a good exercise and I did it. I came, I showed up and I did it. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions at all, and I'll go now and, like a good girl, wash up all my brushes, clean up all my materials, put everything away. So thank you so much and I'll speak to you next time. Bye!